This one just feels good.
Right. Yeah, let's stick with that.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to San Diego, California. Behind us, we have Callaway Golf headquarters. We're not at the fitting yet, but first I want to show you Anthony Toronto's office. He is the head wedge guy, club fitter for the tour here at the headquarters. The stuff is incredible. I want to show you guys first. So we're going to take a trip in there. We're going to show you what he's all about. You're going to love it. And I can't wait for you guys to see the new wedges he comes up with on Blurry, yes or no, but now, time to go get fit. Alright guys, here we are at the Eli Callaway Performance Center, otherwise known as the ECPC. We're about to get a tour level quality fitting here. Every club, putter, driver, wedges, you name it. We're done talking. We're gonna get right into this, and guys, I'm pumped. I'm glad y'all are gonna be here with me to hopefully get these clubs dialed in. No hope, we are gonna get these clubs dialed in. Let's go.
Yeah, George, my name's Garritt. I'm club fitter for you today down here at the Eli Callaway Performance Center. And today we're gonna fit you for a new set of clubs. So we're gonna refresh your whole bag. You gotta get warmed up a little bit. While you're doing that, I'm gonna start taking some measurements off of your old clubs. See where your lofts are, see where your lie angles are, see where your swing weights are, and kind of get a good gauge for why your clubs are doing what they're doing when we start measuring some of your shots on TrackMan. And then I'll try and identify, or you can identify some goals you might have with a different set of clubs.
Let's go.
By the end of the day, we'll know from top to bottom what your spec should be for this upcoming year.
Let's go. Hey, let's get after it.
Here we go.
Good. All right, so we're gonna start with wedges. So we're gonna try to get me all into the Jaws wedges. This is plain flies overhead, but yeah, just tell them what we got here.
Yeah, so this is his old wedge right here. This is your old wedge, which is a C grind, which is called that because the shape of the sole that you can see after grinding the corners away resembles the letter C. So that's why it's called C grind.
Nice.
The jaws that you've got right here, you just mentioned not liking it quite as much around the greens, but it's pretty good on full shots. It's a wider sole throughout the whole flange there, and there's not as much relief on the corner. And that's the spot as you open the club face, you're gonna hit off of a tighter lie, where you're gonna start resting the back flange on the ground. And if that spot there gets too wide, if you were to look at it like this, you're going to be resting on more material right here, and the leading edge will sit higher off the ground. So players will often feel like it's harder to get under the ball. They'll hit it thin, they'll hit it too far when they're trying to chip. Or they'll adjust and start hitting steeper than they'd want to try and get under the ball. Whereas you don't have that same thing going on if you relieve the corner a little bit.
I mean, you know you've made it when you got your name on the plate. Let's go. I mean, does it get any better than this? All right, so he brought me 3 new wedges in the Jaws grind to, we're just gonna get warmed up and throw some music on there and hopefully find one that fits. All right, so the wedge warm-up is done. Did some comparing. I think I know which one I like better. So now we're gonna move on. Now it's time to get into grindstone. Not sure how this video is gonna look, so bear with me. We got a lot going on, a lot of information to process for me and for you guys. So if it's a little choppy, I'm sorry. But what I will say though is the wedges he did bring out felt 10 times better than the one I have. And that was solely because the grind was more matched up to what I'm used to, and the way it looked and felt off the club face was way better. So we're only through the wedges, and today's already a win. All All right, now people, this is where it gets good. The wedges are fun, yes, I get it. But the irons, the options, the combinations, endless.
That's if you wanted a little bit more distance behind your shots with your irons. It's similar to the X4s, like your old irons. It's got the thinner top line, not a whole lot of offset, pretty narrow sole, which makes it look a lot like a pro style club, but it's a hollow, closed off cavity. The face is more flexible, it's more of a distance iron. So we got a few options that we want to try. We also have a new version coming. It doesn't come in one of these little 7-iron adjustable heads. I've got a set of them back there that are called the TCB Apex irons.
Nice.
So I'll show you those too.
All right, now the warm-up's done. We're going with the old 7-iron to get a calibration of baseline. So I'm gonna hit like 5 shots. We're gonna see if they're drawing, hooking, slicing, how far they're going, and then we're gonna get into the new stuff. Promise it's coming.
How's pure? You get that one? All right, good. We're down, but we went an inch longer now, which I love. So that's going to be a more upright club. And
Definitely efficient with your speed. Long story short, I like that club a lot for you. It makes sense why those have stuck in your bag for quite some time now. You're pretty efficient for distance at the swing speed that you generate, which you generate a lot of swing speed too. So you're long because you're fast, and you're long because of the way you deliver the club to the ball, and that's essentially a fairly steep attack angle with an in-to-out path angle, face closed relative to your path, so you're drawing the golf ball. And typically if we see someone do that, something they want to see different, it's usually their long irons don't stay in the air long enough.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
First up, we got the new X-Forged. How pretty are those? We're gonna keep the same shaft, so you know, one piece at a time. We're not gonna change shaft and head all at the same time. So we're gonna try this new 7-iron, X-Forged, see if we can get some of those same numbers, same shot patterns, and see what it looks like.
Hey G, what's KBS make as far as if we're going seat paper $130 in the irons? Isn't there like a wedge shaft that's 125 or 30 instead of this 120?
Oh, guys.
That was a carbon copy. That was 182 in the air. Spin rate. Spin rate is actually a little less there,
Which is good. So we're trying to knock the spin down a little bit, just a little bit, not a lot. But literally strike tight draw, 182.
Yeah, that one.
Hold it in the flag.
Yeah, proximity to the target line there, like 5 feet when it landed.
Yeah, 5 feet with a 7-iron. That's not bad.
If we were going to shorten that blade length, it'd probably be a little easier turn.
But honestly, and here's the thing, so in fittings, I don't care as much about like all the perfect, when I hit it right in the center club face, exactly how I want to hit it. I want to see like what the misses are doing. And if the misses are like really good and like consistent and not that bad, then I think that's almost more of a win than like seeing that perfect shot fly. So
that's
tidbit of
good
advice.
advice for your viewers for sure. Like you have sent down to us at the end that there's
that one is. That's like a thin, right on target.
which you don't really have a huge need to see much change with the middle of your set, the way the ball's flying. That one's 174. Yeah, you're right on the money.
I mean, guys, you hear this? I called 74.
Yeah.
And he said 70, or so, vice versa. I called 75, he called 74. Right. Just pretty bad right now.
I think it's no sport what it is now. It's bounce off, it's strong.
I mean, the wind is pushing it left, right, so you're going to see it kind of tailing to the right, but that's probably a 2-3 yard draw. Really, so probably 183-ish.
Yep. If I read you your normalized numbers here, that was 182 carry again. All of those.
All right, so these numbers, I'm sorry, it's a little blurry, whatever, it's fine, but you see 183 carry. All these numbers are exactly kind of what I'm looking at. So I'm just gonna mess around with the shaft in this with this head, but I think we're on something with this head. I really do.
That head's working really well for you.
So I think we've landed on the head. We like the new X-Forged. Now we're gonna take a dive into these nip-on shafts. Little heavier, maybe help me with my super lag and yada yada yada. Technical. You know what they're supposed to do. We're gonna be looking. They're a little higher overall, a little less spin. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
That's what they're made for. That was their goal designing this shaft, was to give players that like a lot of weight a shaft that they can launch into the air without adding spin. Typically, if the shaft is made super heavy, 130 grams, they tend to be made to try and bring the trajectory down. So this one's a little bit unique from the sense that it's a higher flying shaft, or that's the goal of its design. but it's a heavier weight.
Got it. Also, the pictures that you see, Jason Legend Guerrero. This is making magic. I can't just wait till you see these pictures.
So as I mentioned earlier, it doesn't hurt you.
Depending on how you hit this thing, it's also a 60.
Like,
Not too many guys hit it, but there is one.
It's phenomenal. Tight draw like what I want to see.
Yeah, so the ball speeds are identical, or you're a fraction faster with this one actually. Your launch angle is a full degree higher,
Really?
and your spin rate is 200 RPMs less.
So we literally checked all the boxes in.
It's doing what Nippon says their goal is with that shaft, which if you wanted to see it go higher and spin a little bit less, this is a shaft that looks like it'll help achieve that for you. A little bit. A flight that you might control better
Like that's like
into the
The
wind.
last one fire ran up into the oak tree.
I want to see like that felt
Too long on that line.
probably like 185, 187 maybe. You can see our reflections. That's fine. Who cares? But the purple ellipse right there, the one on the top is a new shaft, and they're clustered way better. The distance good. Those are that's the original old iron right there. Not like I don't like that, but look at the new shaft did, guys.
So essentially what we're looking at here, we're looking at a grid that's displaying where all your shots landed with the two different shafts. Same head, two different shafts. We got the red ellipse here. That's a pretty tight pattern. It was really nice. We were kind of thinking we didn't need to change your old shaft. With the Nippon shaft versus the dynamic gold that you were used to, you launched it almost a degree higher and you spun it a couple hundred RPMs less, turned it over a little bit easier, which is kind of a nice bonus.
Yeah.
Not necessarily something I would have instantly just expected to happen, but that's what showed up for you. So with a higher launch angle and lower spin, it's going farther, but because of the high launch, the ball's still approaching the ground at the exact same angle. So in theory, with the lower spin, it's a little more effective going through the wind, but because of the higher launch, it's not harder to control the ball as it would hit the green. It's going to sort of stop in the same amount of time that you're used to. You've got longer, tighter dispersion, and potentially better into the wind. So that's a good setup.
So what we're thinking, I mean, do we need to hit any more balls?
I think we're there. If you like
Guys,
the
we're
feel
here.
of that,
Nippon, X-Forged. I mean, look at this. We're there. Nippon, we're doing it. We're getting trendy.
Here we go.
Hey, don't second guess this. Let's go. Now, we got planes flying overhead. It's fine, but now we're going to the 4 and 5 iron in the Apex Pros to hopefully get that ball up a little higher, going a little farther, and helping your boys' long iron game out because it's been struggling, to say the least. Holy high ball, hairy.
Same loft as your 4 iron. The tungsten in the sole, the CG's lower, and the face flexing. All of a sudden, the ball launches higher, spins a little less. You get a higher flight.
I mean, I kind of thinned that one, but that went really high and not too far off line. Like,
That 4 iron's going 220 as well, so the gap from that to your hybrid is not, too big.
signed, sealed, delivered. Apex Pros 4 and 5 iron. More forgiveness. Launching that ball way up high. It's not even set up for me either. That's the beautiful thing. Like, I could tell by just a few iron shots and the miss hits, like I've said, that this is definitely going in the bag. Nice. All right, irons are complete. Next up, the hybrid compare. So we're actually gonna be trying the X-Forged utility iron and trying to get this not out of the bag, but you guys have seen on the channel. The hybrid has cost me a lot of strokes. I hit it good, but sometimes I hit it bad, but this X-Forged utility looks insanely pure. So we're gonna hit a few of this hybrid to get a baseline of numbers, yardages, hooks, slices, whatever, and then we're gonna go into the utility to see if we can get one dialed in. Numbers, what we got here for the X-Forged utility that we'll be trying out.
So we'll see the guys that are using these utilities, some match up their iron shafts, some like to use a little bit lighter shaft. You're using one of these KBS shafts in your hybrid now, so I think that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
And since you're using it off the tee, more than you're using it from the fairway, a lot of players want to put one of the graphite shafts in there so they can generate a little more speed and get as much distance out of them as possible.
Cool.
Hybrid with the same loft. And typically guys that curve the hybrids a little bit
Lower? Looks like you only like 220 and roll a long way. So the verdict is like, probably not. But we might get this because as my swing gets better, as we get more into the summer, I think this will be a viable option at certain courses off the tee. It's not going to go left as much, so it'll, I think, open up some doors confidence-wise and mental game-wise.
Yeah, if you start missing the hybrid to the left, that's when this club would be something you'd probably want to toss in the bag.
All right, so the 3-wood, we're not going to compare the old 3-wood because we're just chasing distance if it draws and does what I wanted to do. So we're going to hit a few and see if this is the one. Epic speed with a Ventus Fujikura shaft in it. Dead straight, really solid.
282. That was pretty efficient for carry as well. So I mean, that's
like
kind of
265 carry or something?
265 in the air, 282 total.
All right, folks, you saw that one bleed out. Well, I'm not going to trace that one because it was way high right, but that's the miss that I want to see with this 3-wood. Because now all I have to do is just make sure I'm a little more matched up, release it pretty hard, and it's going to draw. That's probably like 290.
That's going to get you 290, yeah. Was that up on the face, a little on the toe?
Hey, George, that wasn't too bad.
Out here fitting with Hole-in-One Trick Shots, Josh Kelly. He thinks he's bombing it over there.
Josh Kelly, go off on YouTube. Follow me.
He might challenge me to a driving contest. Yeah, he should be able to hit it farther than me, but there is no way he hits it as straight as me. That is a fact.
That's true.
Hey.
My preference is the first one, just because of where your spin rate was.
I like them now.
Okay.
With that one shaft, like it checked all the boxes. I was able to hit tight little draws that were hot, but also weren't too hot, if that makes sense. I like 3-wood. I think we got the Epic Speed. There we go. There we go. With the Ventus Fujikura X8 shaft.
That's when you know it might stick in the bag for a long time.
Yeah.
If it's flying right, feeling right.
Looking right.
There you go.
Hey, cue the B-roll, cue the dramatic music. Probably not gonna do that. It's time for the driver. Time for what you guys have been waiting for. We're gonna see what driver performs best, and just get ready. We got the new head, the Epic Speed. This one, you guys have seen this, but Diamana old shaft, 60 gram. We're just gonna get some baseline numbers here. Just hit a few, and see if we can beat these numbers with the new driver shaft, head, etc., etc.
So roughly 10 launch and 3,000 spin. So 3,000 spin doesn't hurt you unless the ball's moving pretty fast, which 170 miles an hour is really fast.
It's not bad. I mean, over 170 total, 301 carry. 283, we're not mad at that.
Yeah, so
115.
You've got some room to increase this number without needing to swing faster.
Yeah.
And the main reason why is this spin number here.
All
so
right.
at 3,000, gives the ball a little bit more lift than optimal would be. And more lift is going to mean the ball's coming down into the fairway at a little steeper angle, a little less likely to roll. TrackMan gives us a measurement called land angle. That tells us the angle that the ball's coming into the ground. That was 41.6. So the angle at 41 degrees, that's usually an angle that makes the ball land relatively soft. So we want to see that under 40. If we get into the mid 30s, that's when you're hitting and really seeing the rollout.
So let's dial up this driver a little lower spin, maybe bring down, just we'll let him do his thing. We're gonna set the camera up here, hit some bombs, and check back in a few swings. These numbers, so 310 total, but it is about 2 miles an hour, 3 miles an hour slower ball speed, a mile and a half slower club head speed, but it went 10 yards farther. So basically what you're seeing there is I didn't like the way it's set up, but goal number one was to get more distance by basically just changing the equipment. That's what we did.
Yeah, we went to a much lower center of gravity driver, which is one of the ways you can decrease spin without needing to decrease the loft necessarily. So that was actually a degree higher lofted driver than you were hitting where you were spinning at 3 grand. So
no wonder I hit so high there.
The launch angle was quite a bit higher and the spin rate was way lower, way more efficient.
Yeah.
But I think if we decrease the loft a little bit and get the spin even lower, you've got a few yards more to gain. And hopefully with less loft on this driver, it's going to be a shot shape that matches up with what you're wanting to see a little bit better.
I'll hit that fade like I'm trying to hit.
Yeah, we want to see it fade and get the low spin gear effect.
that one's pretty good. That's
that
gonna
one
be
right out of the center. See the ball speed. That jumped up.
170 ball speed, carried at 295, 316 total. Might be on something.
Pounding it. 12, 2100, 318 total. 15 yards farther. That's farther than the head you thought was perfect.
We found the head's about 10 yards longer than my current or old head. So now we're gonna change the shaft and see if we can pick up a little more distance. But first I'm gonna take a break. I'm a little tired, just hit 18 golf balls swinging 160 miles an hour row. Hold on. Okay, just had some beef jerky, we're good to go. Mind frame, I don't know. VENTUS, this is all the rage. Fujikura 7X. What weight is this? So mine is like 70 or 60, which
that's
is
70 there.
So
that one comes in 60 as well. A lot of guys at ear speed 115, 118, head speed 70 is a pretty popular weight,
yeah.
But we also see guys going into the 60s, so it's a matter of trial and error, seeing if one, like you mentioned earlier, feels better, or if you happen to hit one better too.
Yeah, but this will be good because I think I need a heavier driver, but this is gonna be good.
I also de-lofted that.
And he de-lofted it.
So you want to see it launch lower. We've potentially got some room for you to hit it lower and pick up roll before you lose carry. So we're seeing if we can get that with this combo.
A little late. It could be on the right, but again, like I said earlier, I like seeing my misses be on the planet, and that one was on the planet. Another thing, the timing, like 10 grams is gonna throw a lot of the timing that I'm used to off.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna have to like kind of relearn like how to not swing it, but yeah, so it's gonna take a few swings to get like that kind of timing down.
Yeah, he was just gonna show him some. Said Wes is up to like 180 ball speed.
Really?
Oh, Wesley, well, I think 190 he's touched.
It's 190.
Well, I want to see that one because that's gonna go farther than what I've been hitting.
Yeah, 72, 10, 2600.
90 total. Yeah, I like it and don't like it at the same time. Numbers, ball speed, carry, pretty solid 290, hitting at 315. But I was hitting a little bit lower. So where we got here, and a little bit farther to the right than I'd like. So this shaft's a little softer in the midsection. And yeah, that's, we're gonna hit that a few times, see if we can catch the ball flight that I want. Those are on strings right there. Is that 295 carry?
114 head, 170 ball speed without having to swing 115. That's nice. 11, 2100, 291 carry, 317.
291 carry? Okay. I like them on misses with this. They're all going to be around the rough line, which I like. That's a missile.
Yeah.
We're going to hit on that one with this shaft. Let's see some numbers. Give me some numbers. Come on.
114 head, 71, 9.5, 2 grand. That's creepy. You can see that one's still 316, but only 285 carry. You lost like 5 yards in the air, but you picked up 5 yards on the ground. Same total.
Looks like I'm topping out at like 285 carry, 290 carry, 315, which 315 is pretty long, not bad. All right, this is the 60 gram shaft, a little lighter, what I'm used to.
Perfect flight.
Yeah, I like the way it flight and feels. All right, lighter shaft, that was the most I've had carry in a long time.
Yeah.
They're all going about the same distance.
315, 316, that's kind of just...
But a little more carry there.
Gonna max your carry out.
Yeah.
If you went after that one a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, this one feels good.
Right. Yeah, let's stick with that then.
115, come on, just give me 300. 2 drives with the lighter shaft, 115 club head speed, which is really good. Up my carry, 292, right there, a little bit. I know I'm bright, I don't feel like changing it. That's lazy, George. You're lazy, don't be lazy. Okay, so the kicker with that lighter shaft honestly, it feels better to me. Like the numbers were pretty good, but the reason this thing's not flying a little further, not swinging a little faster, it's like 50 degrees, got 2 layers on, into the wind. I think, now I'm not making excuses, but once summer rolls around, there's no wind or downwind, I'll be able to get these numbers like 115 up to like maybe 120 club head speed, carrying it like over 300. But right now in these conditions, carrying it 292, it's pretty solid. And I'm not going like grill after it. So, I mean, this has been fun. All right, we interrupt this regularly scheduled programming. As you can see, we're not in California. Totally forgot to wrap this this video up with all the specs and all the clubs that I will be hitting. So with the wedges, we got 58, 54, 50 degree, 46, all with the C grind in the jaws, Nippon shafts. The irons, 6 through 9 iron in the X-Forge 2021 model Nippon shafts, 4 and 5 iron. However, the Apex Pros to get that ball launching nicely, high and soft, you get the picture. So instead of hybrid, we're going with the utility this year, the X-Forged 2021 utility iron with the KBS C-taper shaft, same as my hybrid. So we're gonna give that a try. 3-wood, we got the Ventus, or the Epic Speed with a Ventus, I think 70 gram or 80 gram shaft, the red one. And last but not least, the driver, Epic Speed triple diamond to get some of that spin down or spin off to hit the ball further with the Ventus 60 gram red shaft. Yeah, that's the money setup. And now back to the video. Let's finish this thing out. All right, guys, that is a wrap from San Diego. That is a wrap from the ECPC. Holy cow, that was a lot. But I think this stuff's gonna take my game to the next level. Actually, I don't think, I know it will. Hopefully you guys learned a lot. Hopefully y'all just enjoyed coming along for the ride here in San Diego. Guys, thank y'all so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more extremely insane content with Callaway we got here cooking up this year. Until next time, we'll see you guys.